Howdy, Signing Sheriff here. You've probably already noticed the revolver in my lap, but this is the gun that I'm using to demonstrate something that I just found a few minutes ago that I think is kind of funny now that I understand it. So for the majority of the YouTube viewing community, I guess you would say, you guys are probably much more familiar with Alec Baldwin and his mishap with a basically Colt single action army revolver. Now I only recently, meaning this morning, found out all the facts. So I thought this was hilarious because just a year ago or something like that, maybe 2 years ago ish, when I first heard that he had had some type of accident, I didn't understand what was happening. Now that I own a gun, I understand it, and I think it is stupid. So for those of you, and I'm guessing there's not a lot of you out here, but for those of you that don't know what happened, Alec, who I'm going to call Alec because that means attitude, but Alec, no, actually, I thought of a better way to do it. AB, Alec Baldwin. So Alec Baldwin was directing a new film called Rust. He had a weapons director, I don't know the name, because they were mentioning it kind of offhand, so I don't know the weapons director name, but for the most part, the weapons director was actually doing a very good job controlling the use of prop guns. Now, something I want to specify before I get too far into the video is that word, prop gun. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that's my mom's blood sugar machine. Excuse me for that one. Anyway, so if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I don't believe that there's anything called a fake gun. A prop gun straddles between what I call jury-rigged and quote-unquote real. Why is a prop gun straddling the line? Well, there's a few different types of prop guns. Let's use this as an example. Obviously, I've removed the cylinder. So there is no way that if I decide to, anything is going to happen. So I'm being safe. So anyway, this is a Heritage 22 LR/mag revolver. This thingy has a, I don't know what the actual term for it is. It has a firing pin right there, and if I fire right there, so that's how this fires, because the hammer, when it swings forward, it hits the firing pin, which is a bar. It hits, that bounces forward and smacks the bullet. That's what makes this one go bang. Now, a jury-rigged gun, if I was to use one like this, I would maybe find out how I can remove the firing pin, so that if I did that, it doesn't matter if the cylinder is in the gun. That is one way to make a prop gun. It's jury rigged. And yes, I have no idea how to spell that, so I'm just going to keep adding it to the screen. So anyway, that's one way to do it. Now, in an old-fashioned Colt single-action revolver, they have a, I think it's called an integral firing pin. They use the .45 caliber. For that gun, the firing pin is attached to the hammer. There's a little pin sticking out. And I will add a picture of that to the screen so you guys understand what I'm trying to explain. Now, a jury-rigged one of that gun, what they might do is they would use bolt cutters to clip the firing pin off the gun, so there's no way that it can fire. Well, if you're wanting to use that in a movie for a blank, that doesn't work. But if you're wanting to demonstrate gun safety, that works great. But, so, anyway, Alec Baldwin was using a real gun, quote unquote. Obviously, because he found a way to fire a real bullet. So, what he said that he was doing, he had cross-draw holster. He said that he did not have his finger on the trigger. He said it was like this. Okay. What he said happened was this. Pull it out, point it, stuck his thumb on the hammer, drew back, asked, "How does that look?" Okay. More. How does that look? More. And just keeps doing that, and then he lets go, and bang. Okay. Well, here's the problem, or problems, more than one problem. First problem, he said that he was not aiming at anyone. The barrel is straight. When you fire a gun, let's, for example, pretending that I'm trying to shoot this, I am not going to do this. Because if I aim over there, the ammo is going to go over there. Amazing how that works. If I want to shoot this, I aim at what I'm trying to shoot. So, now some people are probably going to start blowing up the comments because guns almost always have what some people call windage. That means if I was to shoot, for example, this. Bang. Okay, walk forward and check the target. The center is right here. Ooh, it hit over here. Roughly about 1 1/2 inch away. Okay, that's normal because a short, the barrel on this thing is like this long. That will make the ammo start to spin, but it's not a bunch of spin. This, that's pretty good. 22 LR is designed for long rifle. So you get the best accuracy with a rifle. Same idea with other calibers. 45. I'm thinking that's designed to be shot out of a handgun, but So you're only gonna get about maybe 1 through 3 inches of difference between the center where you're actually aiming and where the ammo hits. Human body. Let's say you're aiming right dead center. That's about there. There. You're still gonna hit the person. Okay. Next problem I have is how these things work. So he was using a copycat or a normal Colt single action. Well, what does a Colt single action do? It does that. What is that, you may be asked? And my finger is off the... I can't spell. Trigger. So I'm not making the hammer do anything. Huh. Hey, it's staying in the place where I left it. Now that one, for nobody's completely sure why the third click is there, but anyway. Wow, that's strange. The hammer stays in place at almost all the clicks. Obviously the third one, it doesn't, but I don't know why that third one's there. So, there's only 2 ways to make a revolver not do that. Here's the first one. Now my finger is in the trigger. Basically, what I just showed you is how revolvers can be fanned. Makes them faster to shoot. But the problem is not that they can fan, the problem is how easy it is to do it. Not sure if you can see this. That little bit of wiggle is how much pressure, how hard you have to pull to make it so that the trigger will work. So, let's see. My finger is off right now. Not a lot of pull needed. So let me try something to attempt to copycat Alec Baldwin.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm now wearing a cross draw. Obviously it's still empty. Okay, so line of aim is right there. I'm wanting to show my supporting producer that what I'm planning to do so she can say if it looks good or not. Okay. Now, obviously, I left out all the voicing, because I'm sure you guys know how the voicing works. But there's only 2 ways to do what Alec Baldwin said happened. 1, the hammer was not in proper working condition. I don't think that's how you spell it. It wasn't in proper working condition. So if he did, any of those 4 clicks, it would still go bang. Only problem with that is that means that the gun is so dangerous. No one should have owned that without giving it to a gunsmith so they could fix it. Second problem. Okay, let's just say that he accidentally had his finger in the trigger. And that happened. And yes, I forgot that the gun was fully cocked. But anyway, let's say he did pull the trigger. He doesn't know about it because it's so tiny a movement, it's hard to feel. And he bang. Okay, that's what probably happened. Now let's say something else. A problem that I heard from another YouTube channel. They have a little bit of a potty mouth, but they're very experienced professionals in what they're doing. So please go look at their video. But anywho, so from my perspective, probably the one out of two biggest problems with this situation why would you use a prop gun that clearly can fire a real bullet? First, second, well, partially connected to the first problem, why would you have real ammo if you're filming a movie? Just why? You don't need real ammo. Blanks are very easy to see the difference between a blank and a real bullet. Why would you even have real ammo? And yes, my nose is itchy for some reason. So, there's the first problem. Why would you have real ammo? Second problem. So, he made the mistake, of explaining that he had a weapons director who normally would give him the gun before he would use it. Okay, if you have a bunch of people in your filming area that don't know much about guns, clearly, someone is supposed to control how the guns work. If the actor does something wrong, they're supposed to stop, show them what they're doing wrong so they can change it. So, what happened with this weapons director? Well, apparently the weapons director was not even there at that moment. Convenient timing. The only person there was the supporting producer. And that's one of the two people that got hurt or killed. So, yeah. Why was the weapons director not there? And then a third problem. Okay. If you're trying to show somebody, does this look good? Does this look good? Does this look good? Why would you just think you can have even the blank ammo in the gun? You're just showing it before you do the actual scene. Why have anything in the gun? There's a bunch of problems with this situation. Most of the problems are Alec Baldwin apparently had some experience working with a weapons director and guns, I'm guessing, because of that. So really, he should know enough to know, don't just trust somebody. Check your gun. Okay, if the weapons director told him that it's empty or it's cold, safe, whatever. Okay, still, why would you just trust it? Check it. Now, I'm a little bit of a gun enthusiast, as you probably have noticed already. But something that I never do is just take a gun from somebody and trust them to think that it's empty. If I don't know how to use a gun, for example, and I'm not going to say the person's name, a good friend of mine has what I'm thinking is a rifle. It's a bolt action, so I think it's a rifle. He was showing it to me months ago. I don't know how to use a bolt action, so he was showing it to me. I made sure I never touched it because I don't know how to work it. So if I did try to work it, I would possibly shoot somebody. I never touched that thing. And I think he realized I was trying to make sure I didn't. So that's one way to do it. Just don't touch it if you don't know how to work it. Now, I had somebody else showing me a semi-automatic. I know how to work a semi-automatic. So he handed it to me. He told me it was empty. Again, not saying a name. Please don't get mad at me, YouTube, or anyone in the comments. So I took the gun, pardon me, this is empty, but he handed me a gun, I accepted it, pointed the barrel away from him and the person who was standing way over there. I dropped the magazine, like I just did now, checked it, okay, the mag is empty. Good. This one's not, so I'm not gonna put it back in. Then I racked the slide real fast and found out, oh, there's a bullet in the chamber. That went, so I just kind of stood there staring. And the guy that gave me the gun to look at, his first words, I thought I cleared it. That told me this guy has not practiced with his gun. One, he probably does not have a license. Two, or three, he thinks he's all that and a bag of chips. Probably a little combination of the two of those. So if I had just trusted him, I would have possibly fired that thing and shot someone. But I didn't. I accepted, safe, rack. Oh, hey, look at that. There's ammo in the gun. So what did I do next? I showed him how to safely work with his gun and found out very easily he had not practiced none of the gun safety rules. So I had to show him as if it was a safety course. I'm not licensed to teach anyone. But on a one-on-one situation, when someone clearly doesn't know what they're doing, I feel like I can bend the normal rules a little bit and show him the safety rules. By the way, I've never seen him again since that day. But, anywho. So, that's my opinion and whatever you want to call it on the Alec Baldwin situation, what I think actually happened, which I'm going to allow you guys to find out because I don't remember if I just said what's my opinion. But I'll leave that for you to decide. And please be watching the channel because I recently was able to purchase a new gun. And I'm very excited to see just how well or not well this gun works. So I will see you in the next video, hopefully where I'm using this gun. And happy